That is overwhelming force applied with precision. And again, today will be the largest strike package yet, just like yesterday was.
We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong.
In the past 24 hours, B-52 bombers, Cold War relics that first flew in 1961, entered Iranian airspace. Not from the coast, not from standoff range, overland, deep inside Iran, hunting bunkers, dropping 2,000-pound bombs that shake the earth for miles. And the question isn't how they got in. The question is, what does it mean that nothing stopped them? To understand why this is significant, we need to go back to what Iran spent decades building. Iran constructed one of the most complex layered air defense networks in the Middle East, purpose-built to prevent exactly this kind of aerial penetration. The Bavar 373, Iran's domestically developed system, boasts a detection range of nearly 200 miles. Russian-supplied S-300 PMU-2 batteries were designed to track and destroy large, slow aircraft at altitude. The B-52 flies at 50,000 feet. It's large, it's slow. Iran built its defenses specifically to kill it. And yet B-52s are now flying overland, uncontested, over Iranian cities. That doesn't happen by accident. It happens because everything Iran built to stop them is gone. On March 31st, during a briefing to the Department of Defense, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, U.S. Air Force General Dan Kane, made an announcement that changed the picture of this entire campaign. He said, and I quote, "Given the increase in air superiority, we have successfully started to conduct the first overland B-52 missions, which allow us to continue to get on top of the enemy." That's not spin. That's a battlefield declaration. The U.S. has also shifted to what Kane calls dynamic targeting. Aircraft are being assigned new targets mid-flight, and in some cases, tasked with independently locating and striking objectives in real time. Multiple Iranian cities have been hit: Isfahan, Tehran, Karaj. Eyewitness footage emerging from Isfahan shows chain reactions of explosions, massive secondary blasts, suggesting that what's being hit isn't just surface infrastructure. These are munitions, underground, going up in flames. AP News has released a 40-second compilation of strike footage from inside the city. The fireballs are enormous, the shockwaves are visible. The aircraft at the center of all of this is the B-52 Stratofortress. It entered service in 1961. It has a 70,000-pound payload capacity, more firepower per sortie than any other aircraft in the U.S. inventory. And the U.S. Air Force itself states that no aircraft in its fleet can deliver a wider array of weapons: gravity bombs, precision-guided missiles, JDAMs, bunker busters, cluster munitions, mines, even nuclear warheads. Earlier in Operation Epic Fury, B-52s were armed with standoff munitions, specifically the AGM-158 JSM-GR cruise missile, attacking from safe distances without entering Iranian airspace directly. Now, the loadout has changed. The weapons now being dropped over Isfahan are GBU-31 bunker-busting munitions. 2,000 pounds of focused, penetrating firepower, designed to go through hardened structures before detonating below ground. This is a different phase of the campaign. The scalpels have been put away. The wrecking ball is swinging. Let's be clear, getting to this point wasn't simple. Iran's air defense architecture wasn't built overnight. It was layered, redundant, and specifically engineered to deny access to large aircraft like the B-52. The Bavar 373 system, Iran's domestically built long-range SAM, had a detection range of nearly 200 miles. The Russian-supplied S-300 PMU-2 batteries could track and engage targets at the B-52's exact flight altitude. On paper, Iran should have been able to stop this. But this is where the first 30 days of Operation Epic Fury become critical. By March 10th, just weeks into the campaign, General Kane was reporting that most of their higher-end surface-to-air missile systems are not factors at this point, and that U.S. fighter jets were now flying with relative impunity. What changed? The systematic destruction of Iran's air defense grid, radar stations, missile batteries, command nodes, carried out by stealth platforms like the F-35 and F-22, clearing corridors for larger, slower aircraft to follow. The Israel Defense Force had reported that within the first week alone, 80% of Iran's air defense systems were destroyed. Iran's shield didn't fall. It was methodically dismantled, layer by layer. Even with Iran's main defenses gone, the battlefield isn't entirely clean. There are still isolated pockets, ground-based radar, shoulder-mounted manpads, mobile systems that weren't destroyed in the first waves. Any one of them could still threaten an aircraft flying at lower altitudes. This is where the U.S. strategy becomes layered in its own right. Stealth fighters, still operating with impunity, serve as sensor platforms. They map residual threats, feed data to B-52 crews in real time, and either destroy remaining air defenses or channel B-52 flight paths around them. The B-52s themselves have also been upgraded. The U.S. Air Force's radar modernization program has improved the aircraft's resistance to electronic warfare and jamming. The first ferry flight of a B-52 equipped with this system took place in December 2025, meaning the aircraft now flying over Iran may already carry it. The result? Iran's remaining air defenses can disrupt individual systems, but they cannot stop the campaign. The U.S. doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be more adaptive than Iran's ability to respond. The strikes aren't just about military targets. The U.S. campaign has expanded to include Iran's means of production: steel manufacturing plants, petrochemical facilities, industrial infrastructure in Karaj and beyond. The campaign is transitioning, according to multiple reports, from surgical strikes on military nodes to a broader attritional strategy designed to degrade Iran's capacity to rebuild, rearm, and project power. And at the center of it all is Isfahan. Isfahan is home to Iran's largest missile assembly and production complex, built in the 1980s with assistance from China and North Korea. This is where Iran produces its Shahab-4 ballistic systems, M-class missiles, and Chinese HY-2 Silkworm anti-ship weapons. B-52s dropping bunker busters into the mountains surrounding Isfahan have triggered secondary explosions, Iran's underground ammunition and missile stockpiles detonating from the inside. And there may be a deeper objective. Isfahan is believed to be the storage site for nearly 1,000 pounds of uranium enriched to 60%, just steps away from weapons grade. According to Ynet News, the B-52 strikes may be doing something that satellite imagery can't confirm, collapsing the tunnel networks leading into Iran's uranium storage sites, sealing the material under 100 meters of solid rock, not destroying it, burying it, making it inaccessible for a year or more, without the risk of a ground operation. Iran is not sitting still. In response to the Isfahan strikes, Iran launched a barrage of missiles toward Israel. Most were intercepted or landed in open areas, but Al Jazeera reports that at least one Iranian ballistic missile struck its target, injuring 16 people. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has stated clearly that his country is not seeking a ceasefire. What Iran wants is a full end to hostilities, guarantees against future attacks, and compensation for damages, conditions the U.S. is almost certain to reject. But here's the twist. President Trump has declared on Truth Social that a deal may not even be necessary. In an April 1st report, the BBC noted Trump believes the U.S. can finish the job in Iran within 2 to 3 weeks, withdrawing once Iran is no longer capable of building a nuclear weapon. "We've set them back 15 to 20 years, Trump claimed. They have no navy, no military, no air force. What remains is the nuclear question, and the B-52s may already be answering it, one bunker at a time. What we're watching is not a single escalation. It's a phase transition. 30 days ago, B-52s needed standoff range to survive in Iranian airspace. Today, they fly overland, at scale, with dynamic targeting, dropping bunker busters on hardened underground facilities. That shift, from air superiority to air supremacy, is the defining development of this campaign. It means the B-52, a bomber designed in the Cold War, is now the most consequential aircraft over the Middle East. Not because it's stealthy, not because it's fast, but because when a country has no air defenses left, the wrecking ball gets to swing as many times as it needs to. The balance of air power, intelligence, and strategic timing will determine what comes next. But right now, the skies over Iran belong to the United States. For clear, data-driven analysis of modern warfare and global conflict, subscribe to Battlefield Brief. New videos drop every time the battlefield shifts. Stay informed. Stay ahead.